AJ from Newcastle's asking me if I think the fight between Mike Tyson and Jake Paul was rigged. So let's have a look. If you just... The chin was there for the taking. Yeah, I can see why a lot of people think it's rigged. But I'm going to go one stage further and tell you that I think that Mike Tyson actually won on points. Now, I know a bit about boxing. I've actually got a yellow belt in judo. I watched the fight live on a big screen, and I had my mobile phone there as well. So I was watching that on the little screen, so that a second secret angle. And I think, it might be controversial, but I think that Tyson won on points. Hands down, fair and square. Nah, I'm only joking, he was shite, wasn't he? I don't actually believe that, but that's what the internet does these days. People make a very contrarian statement for clickbait, and they sound so sure of themselves. And even if they didn't believe that, opinion, they just start adding up reasons why they might be right, and they start to convince themselves, and then they argue in the comments with anybody who dares bring new evidence to their attention. So to me, it seems likely that it could have been rigged. You know, they made it so that nobody gets knocked out, so everybody goes with their head held high, and everybody makes millions of pounds or dollars. But also, I don't think we can rule out that Tyson was too old. He's an old man. He had some sort of blood emergency a few months ago as well. A medical emergency of some sort. So it could be that he was too old to knock him out. And it could also be that Jake Paul was too shite to knock him out. He couldn't get through Tyson's defence. But I think we can say it's most likely that it was rigged. But my argument is that to say that it might not have been is, if you're going to rig a fight, why not make it entertaining? That was a terrible fight. That's one of the worst matches I've ever seen. And from the moment Mike walked out, he looked off. And that could be because he wasn't feeling well, he wasn't feeling up to it, or it could be that he knew that he was selling out his legacy. But he's already said that he doesn't care about his legacy, he's just happy to get the money. But he looked off, so at no point did I think, Mike Tyson's going to win this fight. And at no point did Jake Paul look particularly good. So, you know, boxing became a bit of a joke these days with all these celebrity fights, and people are comparing it to WWE wrestling. But I watch WWE wrestling, and that tends to be a lot more entertaining, with a lot less money on the line for these compared to this match. You know, these guys have got steel chairs, real blood, and daft storylines that make it worth watching. Boxing's pish, unless you know for a fact both men are in it to win it. You know, you either need to know the boxer and relate to the boxer, understand their story, or you need to just be watching two people just going at it to win, as if their life depends on it. So my advice is to any of these YouTube boxers, retired fighters, or random celebrities, if you're going to rig it, make it entertaining. You know, like, take a hit and fall down to the 9 count and then just, he's back, just in time. And give everyone like, whoa, it was exciting. You know, the way that the wrestling has the 3 count, 1, 2, just made it. So I want to see, if you're going to rig the fights, fall down, get up at the 9 count. Maybe you could get your manager to distract the other guy, and while you're distracted, the other guy comes in and attacks you from behind. Something like that. Or just get yourself disqualified by suplexing the one guy into a table. The Mexican announcer's table, just suplex the cunt over the ropes into a table. Now that'd be entertaining. But that's just both of you just doing that, then a wee bit of cuddling, and then doing that. Come on, man. You're actually putting people off paying for pay-per-views, and it is going to affect the real sport of boxing. It's kind of making everyone a laughing stock. People are like, I've just spent 40 quid in that, and it's going to put them off paying for a legitimate boxing fight or a legitimate MMA fight. But I mean, one thing's for sure is whoever actually does eventually knock Jake Paul out is going to be a national hero, an international hero. The world hates Jake Paul more than Benjamin Netanyahu, and that says more about mainstream culture than I ever could. So I probably was rigged, but it might not be rigged because it was so shite, is my view on it. And I hope Tyson enjoys his $20 million. And I hope Jake Paul's next shite's a hedgehog. This is the bit where most people would say, like, subscribe, and join my Patreon at patreon.com/YouCallThatRadio. But that's something that I would